I'm going to be doing something interesting today. As most of you know, or maybe you don't, I normally paint in oils, and in the beginning of my painting, I use an imprimatura underpainting. And normally, I'm using odorless mineral spirits to thin the paint. But I decided to try something different. Earlier in the year, I actually did some small paintings on board a cruise ship, actually, that were with water mixable oils. And it was really interesting. And I thought it was definitely worthwhile to try on a larger scale. So this is a 30 by 24-inch canvas, and I'm going to try to paint a painting with water mixable oils. No, I will paint a painting with water mixable oils. The question is, in the beginning with the imprimatura, what's going to happen? Because I'm going to be using water to thin the paint. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll find out. Hi, I'm Layne Johnson. Welcome to my studio. Well, that was very interesting. My first comments will be about how it felt. Uh, the water mixable oils are oils, but I'm using water to thin them. And as I described in the previous video, when I was mixing the paint, I was not using water. I was only using water to clean the brushes with. I was using medium instead. But here on the imprimatura, I'm using water. So what it felt like was something in between the regular oil imprimatura and an acrylic imprimatura. In other words, it really rubbed out fine, but when it started to dry, like with acrylics, you pretty much you got to rinse and then can't really go back and remove any extra once it starts drying, unless you use something like denatured alcohol or something like that. But with water, once it starts drying with acrylics, you're pretty much getting towards the end of it. This was interesting because dipping a paper towel into water, I was able to pull out certain highlights that just like if an oil imprimatura was being painted and it starts drying, I just dip the paper towel in the mineral spirits and pull out extra highlights. So in a way, it works the same. Would I use this on a larger painting? I typically paint large. And what I mean by large, they're as tall as I am sometimes. So they're large paintings. Would I use that? Probably not, because I would be battling the drying time. Now, another thing you might try with this, and I might try it another time, is adding a little bit of medium to the mixture with the water. In other words, I'll be increasing the oil content. So you can only do that so far because it starts changing the way the paint works. But that would slow down the drying time. So you could do that. In that manner, you would be still staying away from your mineral spirits and just using water, again, with whatever mineral, with whatever solvent that you would be, or medium you would be using with the water mixable paint. That might work really well. I don't know. I wanted to try this first because this is the true test. What would it do with just water? So another time, like I said, I might try it again by adding a little bit of maybe walnut oil or linseed oil to the mix and see what the emulsion, how that works. Either way, this is just fine for an imprimatura bisque or underpainting. It gives me what I want. It covers that white canvas and it looks decent. Every underpainting I do, I look at it at the end of the day and I think it's the most horrible thing I've ever painted. And I come back in the next morning or see it when it's on Instagram and go, oh, that looks pretty good. So I suspect that's what's going to happen with this one. And of course, it's ready to go to paint the next stage, which will be the sky, and then move forward in the painting. So I'll again be using the water mixable paints on those, but I won't be using water to mix the paints. I'll be using medium. So again, it worked out great.
Thanks for joining me in my studio. If you enjoyed this video, you'll also probably enjoy watching the videos I've linked on the screen. Be sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. If you're ready for more in-depth lessons, consider enrolling on one of my online courses where I teach classical painting techniques for landscape painters. You can find all of my classes at laynejohnson.com or click on the link in the description below.